3, 2, 1. Welcome to MiddleGround episode 23. I don't have a watch on me.
22, right?
20, no, we did 22.
22, 23, yeah.
23. We skipped a week, just needed a little break, but we're back on it. And we have two guests here. We got Kaleb, and we got Tengu, and we got Ryan, because he's a guest now. It's my show. But, yeah, we don't have much to talk about, except a lot to talk about. Anybody have anything in mind?
So, let's get right into this, because we were just talking about this. We're all based in Rhode Island, and there is an issue. So, PVD Fest, when is it usually? Like, it's usually...
It's a week before Pride.
It's a week
so it would have
before
been
Pride.
last week.
It would have been last week. And it's a big presentation. They got the stage.
It's bigger than
performance.
Pride, though.
Yeah.
You gotta explain what
it's not
PVD
as
Fest
big.
is for these people.
All right.
Yeah,
so
it's a
like,
festival.
before PVD
It's
Fest was even a thing, it was Foo Fest. And Foo Fest was basically like all of the local punk bands and like DJs like grouped up and had like a couple block parties. Like AS220 helped with it. Once the city found out AS220 was involved, like they put more backing behind it. So Foo Fest ended up not becoming so much of a thing because those bands got popular and they ended up touring and they ended up like that's just like business,
bro.
you know
Yeah,
what
no,
I mean?
but
Like,
if you're a
that's-
punk band, don't sell out.
Oh, that's like
Pussy if
Yeah,
you sell
don't
out.
go on tour.
It's like Kanye broke 5 broke.
Yeah.
Kanye, you got new shoes?
No, oh yeah, okay.
Nah, but so when those bands moved on, like pretty much PVD Fest came into place. Like there were more hip hop artists to take the spot. There were more DJs and like bars found out about it. Like the whole city just became like a thing. And like up until just recently, and there've already been like podcasters who we've seen talk about it. There's news articles about it. PVD Fest is being moved 2 months ahead, and there's no open bottle carry or open container, and everything's being moved to pedestrian bridge
Which
and
was
water
near
place
Waterfire.
and water fire.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, right outside of Providence, Place Mall.
So
Yeah.
what are they doing? Are they still performing? Or
They're still probably putting on a couple performances, but I
And the
imagine
parade.
it's gonna be very close knit, probably like Pride, where in a sense they're probably gonna like maybe rent out a lot. I don't even know. I think
No,
everyone's
they just finished that lot outside the train station though.
Mm.
They just finished up that hole. It's all concreted. The grass is down. I think they're gonna do it out there.
They're gonna do it there. Well, that would be okay,
I've never been to PVD Fest. That's
but
why I
to
was
not
it's fun.
have it in the middle of the city at Kennedy Plaza.
And in the middle
Do you
of
know
summer,
why it
towards the
might
end.
be like that though? Like festivals have recently been getting bad. Like the Dominican festival, I don't go anymore. When I went when I was younger, shootings every fucking time. Someone's gotten stabbed, shootings because it's right in the middle of South Prov. Puerto Rican. If there was a Puerto Rican festival, Dominicans were there shooting Puerto Ricans up. It was the Dominican festival, Puerto Ricans were there shooting Dominicans up. So that might be why. Because like if you're having KP, you're probably having like some kind of people you don't really want there.
I mean, when you think about it, like Providence has been undergoing like
a lot of
a
crazy shit.
yeah,
I mean,
like
there's crime every
there's a,
day, festival or not.
there's a percentage that's like I don't know. I don't even know like what the numbers are, but it's definitely more than it was before.
Yeah.
And it's like that could be another reason as to why they're trying to play it safe.
Yeah, because if you think about it, they change the time in an event, a lot of people are going to forget about it. Come 2 months later, only so many people who are truly there to enjoy themselves will show up. Because again, only people following it are the people enjoying themselves. And not someone like, oh, I'm going to PVD Fest, you want to show up? And then they show up with some people that don't really fuck with the other person. And then
I mean, I worked PVD Fest last year and Pride the week after it, and
Really?
I'm not gonna lie. Like looking at the city, like the next week, the third week was like, oh shit, like
It
there's
was a
still
mess.
cleaning up to do. Yeah, people partied a little too hard. But at the end of the day, though, like with everything going on in Providence, there's like a need for relief of stress. There's a need for a relief of freedom. You
Yeah.
know, like
I agree.
fucking everything is kind of going haywire, to be honest. Like
Especially like for the three of us with the business that we work for right now, like that pulls a lot of traction away from like our store.
But now it's
Like,
pulling it away from us.
Yeah, which
that's
is like
true.
The opposite direction.
which is stupid because all the bars and
Oh,
if
that's
you don't
why
want
you guys
people
know this so
open
much. 'Cause you guys do it every year.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
confused.
yeah.
I'm like, I've never even like.
Nah,
I've never been to
that's
PBD
our
Fest.
that's our busiest weekend of the year, and since we're not disclosing,
And
I
they
guess
just
I can say it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, we made $14,000 in one day.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so we
So-
made $14,000 on a Saturday. It was our busiest day of the year. It was on PBD.
That's
But
dope.
on top of
now-
that, the bars down there, it's like, okay, you don't want open container, but you're gonna pull the festival away from all the bars.
And the stands aren't allowed to sell alcohol either.
And you say
it
open
doesn't make
container as in
sense.
No
as in
bag.
no bag.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And the cups and stuff. You can't have cups with alcohol in them in Providence.
So how? So they would just have to have the actually known as the beer, or they
So
can
they don't
only
want
have
people
it in the
drinking,
bars.
They
period.
can only have it
Pretty
in the
much.
bar.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I get that. Just get drunk in the bar and then
where
go
they
enjoy the
moved it
food.
though, it's nowhere near a bar.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. So they're eliminating the
Yeah.
option for the. Wow, that's kind of fucked too for those businesses. Now that you guys are saying all that, they're probably losing a lot of money because of that too.
No,
That's probably a big time of the
Not
year for
only
them.
that, the festival, the people running the festival, and the city itself is losing a lot of money,
Yeah.
Especially
which is
since
money that the city needs right
we,
now.
we just had Pride, and it wasn't nearly as like
Big
jumping as we thought it would be because
Yeah.
it rained all day.
Well,
Now-
Saturday, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the day before was fine, but Saturday it was fucked up. Like, and if we had PVD the week before, we'd be straight.
But yeah.
But we don't have PVD the week before anymore.
So it's fucking with your business.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
is so
simply because
bad.
we lost rain on one day, we did worse than we did last year.
I mean, certain companies do rain day insurance, you know, but like even then, at that point, it's like there is a whole street block worth of, you know, like you go down Washington Street past Frisky Fries and it's bar, karaoke
Yeah.
bar, arcade bar, strip club.
I was at the karaoke bar near the other day.
Like it's one
So the
street and
problem
it's
I
just
spoke on, times 50 for every restaurant, every bar on that street.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
George's, Frisky.
You know, I went to the karaoke
everybody.
bar right behind there. So like 2 weeks ago, it was Dante's birthday on Memorial Day, the day before Memorial Day. I was trying to see if you guys was there. I went in there, I got some Frisky Fries and shit. I think it was just some young guy. I didn't know. I couldn't tell. He had like a mustache and a goatee kind of thing.
Probably Alex.
It might have been him, some
Saul.
light skinned kid.
Sour.
Yeah, it was
yeah.
Alex.
So he was kind of
Oh,
quiet too. I don't
goodness.
think he spoke very much English.
No,
Or
he
he's just yeah. He was just
much.
quiet. So I was like, okay. But he was there. He was working by himself, and we went to the karaoke bar right behind it. We actually had a nice time at that karaoke bar.
the
If you-
karaoke bar's cool.
Yeah, like no, it's not behind it, actually. It's like across, and then you got a diagonal, and it's in the
Yeah,
alley.
yep.
You got to go behind the alley
It's
to get to
the it's the building with the octopus on it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yep, that one. We went there, and it was
Yeah.
actually fun.
Yeah, we went there.
I looked there, bro. When I was walking through, I was literally thinking, I was like, this looks like I'm about to get what's the thing? Fuck, I forgot what the saying is. Where you go to get a special kind of massage.
Oh, a happy ending.
Happy ending,
Yeah.
bro. You tell me you don't
Of course
walk in
I
there.
understand.
You don't see it. But think about it. You're walking through, right? It's just like dark red, and then there's just doors to the side. It reminds me of every
When
movie
we were,
where you're walking through and about to get a happy ending.
We were bar hopping around the same time last year, around this time, wasn't it? Or was it later in August?
No.
Anyways, it was during the summer, but we were bar hopping, and we went to that place. I forget
actually dope.
what was it called again?
I don't know. My mom booked it. Oh, that's all I know. We went in there, we were
But-
screaming. We're probably the loudest people in there because we're Puerto Rican.
It's good. It's a good, cool little.
You hear in our
karaoke
room
bar.
50 Cent, in the other room you hear like pop music.
All right, but like,
just hear
so
through
like
the
you
walls.
take all of these things that like Providence is, like even just one little karaoke bar, like that's one of like hundreds of places that Providence used to be, whereas like everyone had their own community and their own things to do, and it wasn't just like a bar where you just sit and drink and just watch the game and then go home
Nobody
and
does
cry.
anything. anymore.
Dude, but it's like, all right, Fair Street was never the way that it was. It was never.
very commercial
It
now.
used to be fucking record shops, smoke shops, sex shops, fucking vintage clothes, and like thrift shops, and like anything that you can imagine that could be local. Nothing was corporate. And now you have two Bajas on the same street. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
The CVS that's over there used to be a huge record store. Gone.
The
It-
small businesses got pushed out, especially after like just the last 20 years. I mean, like
the
Providence is more of a
colleges.
colleges. Providence is more like a tourism area now because a lot of people, like at least from my like Dominican Puerto Ricans, they go to fucking Providence anyways when they come into America. A lot of people come to this area. They go to Boston, Providence, just you know what I'm talking about, down the strip. And Providence is now a tourist area. The apartments are expensive too. No, there's not regular people living anymore for small record shops and stuff like that to keep afloat. It's like people living like the apartment's like $2,500 a month for a 1-bedroom.
Rent standard
Like,
is $2,000 now.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Rent
They're
standard
nice
is-
though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I might have to like move down there at some point when I start making more money. Cause they're nice. Those apartments are nice, but they're expensive as hell. It's crazy. And that's probably why you see what you're talking about. Hold on, I gotta type this. That's probably why you see what you're talking about though.
And how is PVD Fest, like a festival that's supposed to bring fun and money for the city, how is it supposed to get both of those things accomplished if all of these changes are being done? And it's not necessarily that change is bad. Smiley said that Rhode Islanders can't handle change. It's like, no. Like, if there's one thing that I've noticed about Rhode Islanders, is like we like objective change. We like change that matters. So it's like, why change
Wait, where'd
something?
you hear that from?
He said it in an interview.
He said it on the news. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said
I
he
don't like
don't-
this guy. I don't really like our governor. But that's besides the point.
But
Oh, he said that?
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
he's
crazy.
he's the
Or
Providence
the mayor, not the governor.
I don't know.
Um,
Whatever stances he has, I don't really know about politically. All I know is just how he
Me either.
feels about the festival itself, and I'm not even necessarily sure why the change is, because I don't necessarily think there was anything pointed out to be broken. And you know what I mean? If something ain't broke, you don't fix it. We all know that saying. So I don't know. It's confusing to me. If there were more reason, or there were just like more information told as to why these changes are becoming a thing.
Do you know if something happened?
I mean, I'm sure there are incidences, but
But like why? Yeah, like why the obscure change? Like sure, you got your few hooligans that need to be dealt with during the festival here and there. There's gonna be that bad batch.
Well,
I'm sorry,
But
but,
at the end of the
we had
day-
to deal with that on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, but it's like at the same time,
I had to
it's
kick
like,
3 homeless people out of my store because they were about to start a riot.
Yeah,
And
You
not
also
even like a
remember the
riot
riots,
against
too?
us. They were just about to start a fight amongst themselves. Like, that's
Yeah.
just dangerous.
Do y'all remember the riots in Providence where they like basically broke into Providence Place Mall, stole sneakers and all that? It might be this mayor probably came in being an older gentleman. I'm not vouching for him because I really don't. I've never seen anything. It doesn't sound like he's doing any justice. But he's probably coming with the mindset, oh, we gotta fix things instead of like let's work through things and like see like what the problem is. So he's coming in like just closing everything down that he can, moving things around, changing things, trying to get rid of it, not
Trying to
knowing it's only
isolate a
making
problem.
yeah, because of all the riots we've been having lately, like that. And then wasn't Pride last year kind of fucked up too? Didn't something? Was it our Pride?
was not PVD.
Yeah, was it our Pride
It was
though,
our
where someone
Pride.
came and like tried to do a shooting? Was that in Providence?
Yeah, that was in Providence.
Yes.
So the last 3, 4, 5 years, every single chance people have gotten, kind of fucked things up for us. Like the riots, Pride last year, riots in general. In all honesty, because there's been mad riots,
Getting worse
people
since
shooting.
2020.
It's been
Okay,
getting worse the last
so-
5 years.
So,
Even before 2020, honestly, like
This-
2018.
this is just like an article I'm reading off of ABC. We are trying to find a way to allow for street closures or the extension of premises downtown, said Smiley. He said there's concerns about closing streets because Providence police don't have the staffing needed to keep people safe. PVD Fest, Providence's signature arts festival, was moved from downtown Providence to the I-195 Innovation Park. It will be a co-festival with the water fire lighting and a headline event. Another change is the open containers of alcohol will not be allowed. And he said this year's festival is going to be much more centered on the art, the performances, and the productions, and less on a street fair vibe.
That's why I think they're gonna put it on that lot to put up like a stage or something.
Yeah, so...
But at the same time, it's like understaffed or not, the same
Well-
amount of people
well-
are gonna come. What's the difference between doing it downtown and up next
Again,
to
if
the
they change the
mall?
environment, let
Here's
people
what
know
I
about
think
it.
they should have done, right? Keep the same exact rules that you have and place basically like on the other end of Waterfire where they used to do Pride, like 5-10 years ago. Because you have that whole alley of, you can still keep a street fair vibe and have food trucks or have like vendors and still have a whole nother street a block away that you have to go get alcohol from. You know what I'm saying? You can't be on the same street to have a drink there. You have to go a whole nother block over. You know what I mean? So
that might cause more
But you can
accidents. People
still
trying to drive and shit.
exactly. But you can,
I guess that's true, but I don't know. They did it with Pride, and
People are gonna drink.
and
yeah,
regardless
people are gonna
of,
drink
regardless of where you put it, the same amount of people are gonna go there. It doesn't matter where you put it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so regardless of any of like the changes that we think that we should implement, though, this is happening, and like my worry is just like what people are gonna do with it. If they do boycott it, I hope it's like a healthy protest and people don't get fucking like
It's not, bro.
stupid.
There's always one bad apple that ruins everything. There's always that one asshole who says the wrong thing to one other person and it makes it worse.
Yep.
Yeah.
One person who's just a little too radical to whatever
one side,
yeah,
yeah.
to whatever
For
side they're
festival.
fighting for.
Keep
You
your
know,
voice in the
yeah.
back, bro.
Too radical. There's
It's
always
like
someone
the
who's
other
just a
day,
little passionate.
9 out of 10 people going are just trying to have a good time, enjoy the festival. And
Yeah.
it's like,
No matter
listen, if they're understaffed when it comes to police, it's like, there's two options. Why can't we call up from other districts and figure out what to do from there?
Providence has 1,000 private security companies.
Yeah, like we know, like
Also,
just Pride
really?
alone. Yes.
you know what sucks? I just
Bro,
realized
how
they
are
never
managers?
advertise
Yeah,
applying for
true.
cops.
That's how it works there too.
They should kind of advertise more that cops like need more people. Like I've never seen anyone like I don't even hear friends. I don't have
But
any
the
friends
city
who want
doesn't
to
want to
be
hire
cops.
those people.
They can't pay for them.
So Home Dude wants to can't pay for it.
So I wonder if we make the money this year, will it change again?
Hopefully, honestly.
Is
But-
that the point? Because like, if they want to keep it safe and still make their money, they're gonna cut all the vendors and stuff and focus on their own events like the performances. I wonder if that's the reason.
Well, yeah.
But
here's-
how is that going to cost any money if it's a public event? I can just walk up to the stage and see someone perform and then leave. Unless they're going to be paying for people to come into PVD Fest.
Yeah.
which is
That might make the best sense.
No, that's
Why not make it like $10 at the pop at the door? And
Because
That's what they
It was-
used to do with Foo Fest,
Yep.
but this is probably going to be like $50.
But the point of the festival now was downtown, especially in Kennedy Plaza, was you could walk up, look at the stage, watch the performance,
Yeah.
and then go.
It's community.
Yeah, it's community based, and it's supposed to be for the community.
all right, so then why not don't they take a percentage of each person's food truck who's there? If you want to be at the
Yeah.
food truck,
Yeah.
So why are they making a government?
You got to
then?
understand, it's it's the city running it basically. So there's a city tax. Any bar, anything you go into.
I was gonna
that
say,
a
the
single
city shouldn't
drink
even
you
be
buy,
paying for it. It should be kind of
you
a
get
collective.
they get a city tax percentage of that. Maybe it's like 10 to 13 cents. I don't know if you ever looked at your receipt, but there's government tax and then there's your
State and local tax.
state and local, and it's change. But
Mhm.
100,000 people going to 5 different bars,
You also want to know
13
this.
cents off of 100,000. You're losing all that money.
Yeah.
Not even that. If you want to know something even more interesting, there's something called an ad valorem tax, where the people who live in that area pay for things like this or specialized events, also called a special tax, and there's bonds for that they issue out to pay for all this stuff. So like the government has more, the municipal at least, the city has more than enough money to pay for all this different stuff because they're borrowing money from us and then we're paying them back for it.
I
Constantly.
think it's crazy because I don't know of anybody outside of Rhode Island who comes to PVD, whereas like we have the second biggest pride in the country. You know what I'm saying? Like people from all over the world come to go to Pride Parade.
It downpoured hard all day.
Oh, it didn't
They
stop.
still pop. They still
Yeah.
popped up. It didn't rain or shine.
Rain or shine?
Yeah. Which is
Don't get me wrong,
It's
we
a
weren't
big
as
deal.
busy as last year, but business was still crazy.
Yeah,
this was
this
so
is
good.
I didn't stop for 5 hours.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for us it was like, what time was it when it started? It was like 10.
Probably
like
about
I
9
said,
or 10.
like I said, right around 10 they're gonna come out.
Right
And
on
then
when
it's
the
not
parade
gonna
ended.
stop.
Well, that's when like the end of the parade got to the block party. Like the parade had already
What time
ended
does
by
the
like
parade
9
end?
o'clock.
Oh, it ends at like 9 p.m.?
Yeah,
It starts
Yeah.
at 8 and they run down the street.
Yeah.
pretty much.
Oh, what about like the whole Pride Festival though? What time does that kind of end at?
The festival,
2 a.m.
Oh, shit.
the festival technically No, the festival ended once the parade goes out.
Oh, it's just
So
the after parties in a way.
It's
The block
like
parties go.
it's the festival, right? The block party starts at 7 and the festival ends around 7. But they're completely like pretty much on like the other sides of Providence in the downtown area.
Interesting.
So as soon as the festival ends, the parade starts and walks pretty much all the way over to Washington Street near the block party. And then, you pay to get into the block party if you'd like or not. So
That's dope. All right, though. On a more positive note, have you made any new music?
I actually have made a couple of. I don't want to speak too much on it. But I can say that I have a headline show.
What's going on?
What
Y'all
is
know
this?
I have a headline show.
No, I know. I asked you about it because I wanted to go.
So July 14th is the headliner. It's in East Greenwich at Tasteful RI.
Tasteful.
No, you're good.
Go on. I just
Yeah,
had a
so
copy. It looked
it's
funny.
at a smoothie shop,
That kind of hurt my hand.
and this artist who is a painter and a musician as well as a business owner owns this smoothie shop,
My
and
boy's multi.
Multifaceted.
he's like
He is.
Renaissance man
Multi-artistic.
of Rhode Island.
My boy's a painter, musician, and a culinary artist.
That's
He could
what
be a
I'm
poet
saying.
too, for sure.
Probably.
The way he
But
speaks.
so this guy.
Oh, and he sings, right? Or raps or something like that. You said
Yeah,
makes
he
music.
raps or sings. I'm not sure. I don't know if I've
Four
heard.
fucking little arts right there. I only got like 2 in them, about
So,
barely. One and
He
a half.
saw me perform
One and
at
a
one of Slitty's open mics, and I guess he talked to J-Rem, who is a he helps me book shows. for
Yeah, I know
Bars
who
for
J-Rem
Bars.
is.
Yeah, exactly. So fucking he talked to J-Rem, and I guess he like handpicked me specifically to do this headline show with him for his open mic. So
boy showing his
Yeah, I like
talents.
him a lot. He's always shown a lot of love.
J-Ram's real.
J-Ram's real.
J-Ram's real.
J-Ram's real as fuck. I fuck with him. I fuck with Eric. I fuck with everybody who's affiliated with Bars for Bars for like who's like top like who's really like
Yeah, honestly,
in
I
it
A
with
want
lot of
them.
effort.
I want to go too because it kind of
Slitty
brings a
is-
little bit of traction to us too. I notice like whenever we go to them, we get more views in our videos because we start to talk about it. A
Yeah,
little
we
bit
get
more.
to we get
We
to
do honestly get
network.
more views. Like we got more views and followers when we're going steadily for like 4
Bars
months.
over Bars is a huge community, and like another big person in that is Slitty. Like I
Slitty's
fucking
dope.
hold Slitty to a very high regard, and I know a lot of other people too, and that's because he just like pushes the ideas that he wants, and just lets people have their opinion on it, and doesn't really have like an expectation on necessarily like where it goes. Same thing with Bars Over Bars. They just put out content, and they're like, this is us, and that's why it gets so much positive feedback and the community that it has. Artist, fan, family, whatever, it doesn't matter. Like someone's watching it, someone's paying attention to it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
I would like
wanna-
to see those people create something for PVD Fest.
Yeah, I think that is the plan. I do want to throw the I do want to throw the candle over to Kaleb a little bit. Let him get to speak and tell you guys what he's been doing. What
That's
he's
what I was about to ask next. I was
his,
what's going on with Caleb?
Whole lot of nothing.
Whole lot of nothing.
We've been hitting the
Nah,
gym recently.
You've been making
Yeah.
beats though.
I've been making beats. You know,
just started making beats.
Yeah, he put me on the Logic, and I was messing around with FL for a little bit, but I don't know if I want to do all that trap stuff. To be real, like
You want to do something
I
different?
want to get into like sound design and
Like Foley?
music production, maybe Foley. I don't know.
Foley's
I
fun.
would so get into that, bro. Give me a sheet and I'll just like wiggle it real.
Foley's
quick,
someone's
Give
fun.
me a shack filled with bullshit. Yeah, like straight up. I would love to do Foley art. Are you joking?
2
I-
Easter eggs filled with mung beans.
I did a Foley project back in high school that I did really well on. It was like an animation. They gave us a completely muted animation, and we had to do the entire Foley over it.
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, I got an A on it. It was pretty.
So it's fully like that, like warp, like thing that makes like those weird
So
sounds.
in cartoons, there's like tons of sound effects, or in movies and stuff. They
Yeah.
can't really capture an accurate or good enough sound effect. So like horses walking on concrete, right? You dig 2 half coconuts and you just slap them on the ground. Because horse hooves aren't that loud. Your microphone on your camera or
Yeah,
your
wouldn't pick it
boom
up.
would never pick that up.
Well,
So
let's
you-
say you're just sound designing a video game. That shit's all quiet.
That shit's hard,
That shit's
bro.
hard to do.
you're,
Like,
you're taking sounds that don't exist and you're putting them in there.
yeah.
Like, you got to fill the space with.
You know what
just-
the good thing is? Most of the sounds are like out there now. At least that's the thing. Like
That's
a lot of the sounds
true,
are
but like
Then you
you're
can
still
probably
never
mix and
gonna
mold them.
find a high you're still never gonna find a high-end studio
No,
that's not
definitely
gonna
not.
do like the real thing.
Yeah,
How a
definitely.
lot of it
not
works
that.
is for like a big company game is like, all right, they'll look at like for a video game, they'll look at the entire game front to back, right? And they'll do like actual physical things, like they'll actually like go up to the mic and like move shit around and like test and do that, and then from there they take all those and it's in one like big file usually, and then it's just like it's almost like picking out
Kinda
instruments
fucking
of a beat.
sucks.
It's like, oh, I need something that sounds like sand, and then you look at it and then there
I
it
would
is.
hate to be the coder. That sounds like such a tedious job to match the sound to the
Frame to
steps.
frame. Frame to frame.
Frame to
You know
frame, yeah.
that
Oh,
is
God.
the hardest part about video game design.
Hell
Everything
yeah.
else is super easy.
Well,
The
even
sound-
These
designing
games
the-
come with physics engines now.
Yeah.
And the framing of it anyways, looping those frames in a coherent way that they actually match up and in sync as they go throughout the game, and then the fact that each player is playing the game slightly different.
Well, the biggest problem isn't necessarily like matching it frame to frame. You want to know what the biggest problem with sound design and music inside of video games? The memory.
Yeah, keeping it small.
Yeah.
The memory and keeping it as tiny as possible.
Oh, trust me, I know that from fucking just the edits. I was dealing with videos that are 130 gigabytes, and I had to compress it down. I'm sure theirs is even
We all
larger
heard
scale.
about what happened with
Probably billion.
Cyberpunk.
It
You
was
want to know
horrible.
why that happened?
was a bust.
I almost wore my Cyberpunk shirt today.
Bro, that because of the music and the sound design, that's why the game runs that way.
There's a reason
It
Red
really-
Dead is 120 gigabytes.
Yes.
It's not because of the map. I'll tell you that, bro.
No.
Nah, yeah.
Because you look at Elden Ring's map and that shit is fucking. But there's
Way bigger.
There's not one fucking sound in that game. It's so fucking quiet.
Yeah, it's all ambience.
There's no yeah.
I did re-download Red Dead, so
You better have.
Honestly, I bought Red Dead Redemption like 2.
Yes.
So-
No, this was a while ago. I bought it and then I never played it.
That's
I bought it.
crazy.
I bought it because at the same time though I had God of War. So
Oh, you got it when it came out then.
yeah, I had it. I
2018.
got it on a PlayStation and everything. I had it when it came out with my PlayStation.
Bro spent $60 on Red Dead and didn't play.
Bro, I played it with God of War or Red Dead, and I was playing God of War, and I
I'm
was
gonna
like,
be honest. Red Dead is a better story than God of War.
The first one, yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Totally.
for you, I like gods and all that shit. I didn't really care to be a cowboy, and plus I'm blind. And I was trying to play blind, and the game was so bro. Nobody would play with me. I also had nobody to play with at that time, so I was like, yeah, this is not it. I wanted to play the game with somebody. It was when I first got back into video games, and I was like, yeah, God of War is a better solo game to me. That's how I felt
But
personally.
We're gonna take a quick cut.
yeah.
I was also back. Skip over the
Alright.
games real quick. You going to CIA?
I am going to CIA, the Culinary Institute of America.
Yes, that was my dream school. I just
Hyde
didn't go
Park,
because
New
it's
York.
too expensive.
It's too expensive.
73,000 a year when I was looking at it.
bro. Dude, it's more than that now.
What is it, like 90?
Yeah, dude, it's like it's 45 for tuition right now.
The good thing is it's like 3 years, so you
Yeah.
have 1 year less, but it's
So
still.
it's a 4-year degree, but you can finish it in 3 years.
Mhm.
But the bachelor's degree, which is what I'm going for, I might go for longer if I decide to pick up a science.
What are you gonna do?
Culinary arts and hospitality. So like
Okay.
hotels, restaurants, businesses.
Mhm.
Breakfast.
Where I would be
Breakfast.
cooking.
I was gonna do culinary arts, mixology, and then an associate in baking.
Their mixology class is really good.
No, I wanted to, so I could be a
Yeah.
full fucking fledged kitchen. I was gonna have my bar. I was gonna be good in the kitchen, and I could bake. I was gonna have everything. I was gonna get my master's. I was gonna go there for like 8 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I was gonna go crazy.
No, if you can, it's totally worth it. But like, I only have this opportunity because my grandfather graduated
Oh, he's
in
an alumni?
1982. Yeah, he's an alumni.
Well, you get a discount for that, right?
Yeah. He teaches classes. Yeah,
Oh,
he
shit.
teaches CIA courses. So I have a recommendation. I have 3 other recommendations for my other jobs.
No fucking.
This-
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I've catered 2 weddings. I have college classes that have credits for culinary arts.
Oh,
Um,
did you go to vocational school too?
no,
'Cause
I
have the
did for a
college
little
credits.
bit.
I went to Cranston West, so I have the vocational and the college credits.
Yeah, I took courses in the summer and I took classes at my vocational school I went to for like 6 months.
Yeah, oh shit! We're
So
in the same boat.
I had
was
I had
wanting
to
do it.
fight really hard for the opportunity and it's still really expensive.
It's so fucking expensive, bro.
But it's so worth it. It's the only time
It
where
is.
I could have this career and make back the money.
You've been. Oh my god.
It's the only
I'm so
school too
sorry.
that's non-profit for culinary arts.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so much better.
Yeah.
Like the difference between non-profit and for-profit culinary schools is huge because like Daewoo is like a commercial school. You
Yeah.
go there and you kind of just work for them essentially.
Daewoo used to be one of the best culinary schools in the company.
Your
the
your
country.
kitchen experience alone, I've noticed you've told me stories about it, but you've been all over like the
Dude, all over the country.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Like what are
Montana,
You did way more than I
Ohio,
did.
Massachusetts, New York, Maine. Worked in Nevada for a little bit. I've had 4 years experience total, one of which was unofficial because I wasn't getting paid. But you know,
You
I
chased the dream I wanted to do.
yeah, I had to really fight for that shit, and I had to have the opportunity since I was born. I was just really lucky, you know. Not every Here's my problem with culinary school. I went there for a tour, and this dad walks up to my grandfather because he's doing the tour with me, and he's like, "I'm really interested. They're taking me in the kitchen. Nobody else is in the kitchen besides me, like all the tours." And they were like, "He's really serious about this. Like, has he always known that he wanted to do this? My daughter just decided like last year that she wanted to do this." I'm like, that's the problem with food now. There's people jumping in that think they can do it because it's easy.
Yeah, I wanted to do it when I was 10 years old.
It-
I was learning how to cook since I was 10 up until like 18, and I was like,
And sure,
crazy.
everybody, I believe that everybody can learn how to cook. It's an art that
Everybody
everybody
should
can
learn how to
perform, but cooking for other people in a restaurant is a whole different game.
completely
Yeah,
different.
It's a whole different set of torture.
It's really funny that you say that because I just watched Ratatouille last night. And no,
No, that's real.
No,
No,
it's
that's
real though. No, because we watched it
Fuck.
in culinary school in the first week. They made us watch it.
Listen, and Anton Ego pretty much sums it up at the very end. He's like, listen, not everybody can cook, but anybody has the capability. Anyone can cook. Like you can come from anywhere or be anybody and still have the capability and, you know, the inspiration to create something beautiful, whether it's a food, a painting, you know, culinary is an art. So it's like to say that like to say that like that person couldn't like go into culinary school and fucking rock that shit. Yeah, but like your chances of it,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Because CIA has one of the highest dropout rates of any school in the country.
yeah,
It's
Hard, but it's
28%.
gorgeous.
I wouldn't
That's-
be. I
yeah.
wouldn't be.
fucking
beautiful.
gorgeous.
But it goes down to just
Holy,
like I
I
wouldn't be
wanted to go
doing
there so
music if
badly.
I didn't know that I was gifted in it
Yeah,
or didn't
yeah.
know that I had some sort of special like thing in it since I was young. Like I've just been ingrained.
But there are
in it.
people who are gifted that only find out beforehand. So like
That
that
is
girl that
true.
was coming in, she could be incredible, and I would have
Right.
no idea because she has no experience. That's what the school is for.
Right.
But when you come in with no want, no hunger to better
It's
yourself,
hard.
Yeah.
People think it's so easy.
it's not
just
easy. And people
not.
come into school thinking they know everything, bro.
Right.
And I'm like, you can't do that. That's not how you learn anything.
Mm.
You'll never pick up anything. You'll never be successful unless you learn that you don't know anything.
Yeah, like with when I was 10, right? The only reason I got into food
Mhm.
was because I loved food of being a fat kid, but I never thought of cooking. Because I had a teacher who in this class, it was my principal actually of the school, Anthony Carnevale. This kid, he was from like Texas. His family like made food, so he brought it in. It was the first time I ever tried it. It was like some like Cajun rice. It was like nice and spicy.
Oh, they changed your life, bro.
No, not even that. So it wasn't even that food that changed my life. It was what my principal said to me.
Oh, shit.
So I ate the food, and I apparently described it perfectly. Like the way that the flavors melted together and how it came out. And she's like, wow, she's like, you should be like a food critic. You'd be like really good at testing foods and tasting because you like described it perfectly. I couldn't put in better words. And I was like fucking like 11. And I was like, that sounds nice. So I went home and I started paying attention to my dad cooking. And then I just picked up on the fact that like I have a really good palate for food. And I just fell in love with cooking and I became obsessed. Like I was in 6th grade planning on going to Cranston West because I heard they had vocational there and I wanted to learn culinary arts. I was going to go to school, get my master's in culinary arts, open up my own restaurant. I had plans, everything like that. I learned every single day. I would learn as much as I can about cooking. I'd experiment with so much different foods.
And that's the hard part. You
Yes.
gotta spend a lot of time. In the
I experimented.
Lab,
I take criticism. Like I tell everybody, if you're gonna eat my fucking food, you better tell me how
no,
shit
be
it is
real.
or how
Be
good
fucking real with me.
You can ask them whenever they come and try my food. It's like, what did I do wrong? And they'll be
Degrade
saying
me.
they're like,
Degrade
oh,
me
it's
right
good.
now.
And I'm like, nah, it's Mrs. Like with the barbecue chicken. I'm like, this is good barbecue chicken. I'm like, but I wanted it to like fucking pop, and I was like, it did it.
You know me. I always keep it on
Yeah.
with you.
So like that's what got me obsessed. The only reason I switched careers is because I learned that with my disability, I kind of needed more money to function than normal people.
Yeah.
And it was like either like I followed this passion or like I come to the fact that I either have to choose like what's worth it more at this time, and I chose money over my passion, all honesty. And every single day I sit here and think about like how I can like take it in. But I personally think like, because I worked catering, so I used to work at Pronzi Catering, and I was catering. I used to work 70 hours a week, and I loved it. It was fun,
dude. It's crazy. People don't realize that like if you really feel like food is your thing,
it's fucking
those
fun.
weeks are nothing. Like,
It's
those
nothing,
weeks
bro.
become nothing.
And it was fun and everything. My only problem was I wasn't getting paid enough for that. I was getting paid $13 an hour, making $700 a week. But like when I realized what I could make in
They'll pay you
less than amount
salary
of time,
too, so you get less money.
yeah, the fucking the head chef was only making like 80, 90 grand now, and I was like, this guy's working 90 hours a week, and I was like, I need more money faster. So I chose to go my other passion, which is money. But like to this day, I'm a little bit glad because I cook for art now. So like whenever I make me and my girl food, I take my time making that shit. It's more of like me like putting in like the different things I can put in. And the one thing with cooking too, I realized if I work at a restaurant, I'm kind of gonna leave my creativity more for efficiency, because the fact in working in a restaurant is you're making the meals that is said in the way that it's said, and you can be creative outside of it, but a lot of the time some people lose that creativeness. I didn't want to lose it. So that's why I didn't personally go to school either, because of expense too. Like I was gonna go, so I was planning going to CCRI for the 2 years to get free and then transfer to JWU, because I had JWU almost paid off. But I didn't want to go to fucking JWU. Like I sat there and I was like, I don't want to go. If I'm going to do culinary arts, I'm like, I'm not going to JWU. I don't care how much it's paid for. I want to go to CIA. But I was like, I can't fucking afford it. I was like, I can't afford CIA. I was like, I don't know how anybody can, but I can't afford it. I was so upset. But I'm glad I did what I did, because now when I cook, my food is fucking amazing. And honestly, I've taken a lot of a different approach than how I used to cook. Like I make every meal with like how I want it to be.
You could always go down the internship route too.
I did an internship. That's how I got into Pronzi.
Even now, if you wanted to decide, like, hey, I kind of want to get back into this a little bit. You know?
I hope you find a venue for it, because it really sounds like this is
No,
something that you care
I wanted to
about.
open a food truck recently. Like I think a year and a half ago, I was considering on doing like a food truck and making it, because I understand how the business works. I can't do a complicated menu, but I can take.
But you don't need a complicated.
Exactly, I can take like 3 or 4 ingredients and then disperse it in different ways. So I was like, I think I might want to do a food truck, but as of this time, I need to still focus on the route of like, that's why I went in investments and doing what I'm doing now, so I can learn how to make more money.
But you're
so
still approaching your passion of food.
Every fucking day
Exactly.
I cook. Every single day. When I eat food, bro, I like, this is why I'm a fat kid, bro. Because it's so fun to me to cook. I don't even eat to eat. Like, I honestly eat for flavor, just to try whatever it is. Yes, bro.
Making it and then having it, and you're proud of it. And now you know that you can create this.
Yes.
And food is fleeting, you know? The whole point is that it disappears.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see it. You have to live it while you're consuming.
What's nice about it, I'm sure you feel the same way, is the control you feel when you're going from the product from the beginning to the end. With me and my vision, the thing with me too when I was younger is I can't control my vision. When I cooked, I felt like I had control. From the beginning to the end. Yes, because it's a science. Like, people forget, like, it's not only an art, but it's a fucking science. The way and how you put that meat onto that pan, if you don't have the pan heated up right to the perfect temperature where I learned the science, where the pores close up, the oil sits on top of it, and the meat's able to not stick on there. You create the Maillard reaction. You get that nice crispy butteriness. You don't over flip it. Like, the little shit right there to get the ending product tasting that good.
Dude, it gets
fucking science.
It gets as small as starting with a cold pan or a hot pan.
Yes. Like, people don't realize how much of a difference it makes. Every step you take in cooking. I know you understand that. People don't realize how much of a difference it makes.
You have to think every second. There is
every
no free
second.
time.
It's funny because it's like.
But I love how occupied that keeps me.
There are not too many people who eat food like that, and there are only so many taste testers who like take as much time with eating their food as much as making their food. I'm reading this book called Blink, and there's this one insert about these 2 taste testers, and they do everything. They go around the entire country and get paid, or the entire world and get paid for this, right? And like, they create whole conversations based off palate. Like there are like 13 different types of citrus. There are 25 different types of sugar in vanilla, or like, you know, they know how to fill all of it, and then it like they come up with, oh, this reminds me of the wine we had in, you know, like this Santorini, you know, like they come up with whole different stories and like ideas just based off of the taste of food,
because that's how they experienced it.
Right.
I experience food as a place. When I like eat food or smell it, it brings a lot of the food I make is nostalgic in some ways. So like it just brings you back to certain times.
It's that Anton ego memory. Loop.
Yeah, bro, like
when he
y'all
has
make
that
me want to go
soup.
hit some sort of mom and pop after this.
No,
Nah,
me,
I'm
I'm
down
going to Camp Nowhere after this with me and Trinity. That's where we're
Camp
going to
Nowhere's
lunch.
great.
But
I might be down for
like where you gotta like when you're eating is just like people do it to
People
take it for
survive.
granted. Yeah, like
I do it to live. You feel me?
Yeah.
I do it in two ways though,
do it to
depending on
feel
what my
alive.
goal is. Sometimes it's food is fuel because I work out, so food has to be fuel. But if I'm making food to fucking enjoy it, I need the texture. Textures are a big thing.
But because of your knowledge, you
I
can
make
have
food
those
so much
protein packed
better.
meals,
I make them so
and it
much
doesn't have
better.
to taste bad.
I also
Big
just
taste so
love
fu- every
kitchen
time I make-
talk.
Nah,
Fucking love kitchen talk.
That's what gets me through. That's what kept me on and got me on the food
I
is
was able to
people
talk
around me.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
love talking shit to other
Kitchen
people.
talk is crazy.
I
remember I
love
had this-
talking shit.
You get up to some wild stuff, man.
Yeah.
You start talking.
Start talking crazy,
You
especially
get
on
to
the
know.
late nights.
You get to know your people, man.
Or like I love the people you could just talk shit to. Like in vocational school, I had this one girl. I'm gonna say her name. She'll know what I'm talking about too. Her name was Kelsey, right? I love Kelsey because she was a friend of mine, but she used to piss me off.
Oh, yeah.
So one day we were making like a maple glaze, right? And we're making it for a donut, and the maple glaze kept separating. So I said, hey, I was like, why don't we add I forgot what the recipe was. I was like, but we need to take away something. I was like, the fat's like overheating. It's separating for some reason. I was like, we need to fix this. And she was like, why don't you do this? I'm like, listen, we're already working on it. And just let it be at that. And then she's all the way at the 3-bay sink, right? Washing pots. We used to call it a pot sink. She's all the way over there. And I could hear her talking. She's like, yeah, they're fucking up their maple. They're always doing something. I don't know why they didn't just listen to me. And I was like, hey, Kelsey, I was like, can you shut the fuck up?
Yo, come over here and fix this.
Come over here and fix that.
Get off this. Let me jump in there.
She's like, what? I was like, can you shut the fuck up? I was like, if you have a problem, come fucking fix it. I was like, because I'm not dealing with this shit. And you hear my chef. And this is in school. We're like fucking 17-year-old. You hear my chef just dying.
Nah.
Chef Versace
that
just
was
fucking
the
geeking.
beginning of an era, bro.
Just geeking.
The
This
villain
is like
arc
junior
started.
year, and I was just talking shit. Cause I was like, bro, I was like, I don't
So
need your
fed up.
bullshit. Cause she used to
Nah,
do it all the time with
yeah.
everything.
You went
No,
to
really good.
West's culinary.
Yeah,
school,
we had
right?
a whole facility for cooking. We learned how to bake. We learned how to grow. We learned everything from the beginning to end. We spent the first 6 months just cutting straight every single day. Onions, celery, peppers, learning how to do julienne, small dice, large dice, fucking, I forgot the other one, like the moon, like a bunch of different shit. But it was so fun. It was so fun. I do miss culinary school. It was the best part of the day. It was just going to culinary arts.
My favorite part about kitchen talk, right, is that when someone is worse than you and everybody knows that they're worse than you, you can absolutely talk shit about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Talk shit to them straight to their
I was
face.
top 5 in my class. I was able
You
to.
got to keep it real with them, because if you're fucking me up, you're fucking my flow up, nothing is running properly.
Mhm.
So you better get your shit.
Oh, I
you
hate that
better
shit.
get your shit in check,
I
man.
hate that shit.
Yep.
Because like, there's only so much that one person can do in the kitchen.
True.
You can only do so much. So when someone else is falling
Not
behind,
an octopus.
yeah, you gotta kick their shit up. Because if you don't, they're not going to.
Exactly. So I do have to go. So
You
I
do gotta
think
wrap.
that's a good note. I think that was a good way to end it.
Oh, yeah.
Aw, thank you for having me.
For real.
We're gonna
Thank
get
you
some
for
good
having
eats after
we
this.
thank
Yeah,
you
I'm
guys.
hungry
so
as
much.
fuck
fucking
now.
hungry
low-key.
now.
I don't even want
Mm-hmm.
to cook though. I just want to
Yeah,
eat.
I just want to eat. I just want
Let's
to
go.
have some good food.
Peace
Episode
out, y'all.
23. Thank y'all.